Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. We're gonna make a beat and I'm gonna teach you how to do three of my most favorite genres to produce: trap, drill, and Afro beats. Now, I'm not a professional in Afro beats theory, but I like making it and it sounds cool, so let's go right ahead and do it. Let's first make a melody so we can put the drums on it. I think we're gonna have to go with something kind of melodic to fit all of these genres, so let's see something simple. For trap and drill, which is what we'll do first, we want to be around 140 BPM, so let's speed this up. We're going to keep it really simple. We'll throw a vocal on here as well. Make sure we're in the right key.
Don't say you love me. 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 I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Alright, dope. We've got three little slight variations there. We are going to start with trap drums because that's really easy and really simple. Now, of course, the first thing that is the most important is sound selection. So for trap, you want some thumping 808s. Spins or Zay are probably the two most common ones. Spins, Zay, they're both fire. Okay, so you want to follow the root notes for the most part, so let's just copy them in. And the bounce usually goes, if you're in 1/4 beat, it's every 1.5 beats that you have a hit. So 1 beat and a half and you make a cut, 1 beat and a half and you make a cut, and this is generally the bounce that you have for trap.
Don't say you love me.
And then the rest can kind of go by ear. I like to do this a lot, which is just shifting this same pattern. Instead of it being here, you shift it over 1 bar and then you have a little short note kind of leading into it. And then the rhythm can kind of repeat, but we'll just make sure we're in the right notes for the key. And then really simple, we'll just copy that over.
Don't say you love me. Don't say you love me.
Hats. This one's a really popular one. Just a 2-step.
Don't say you love me. Don't say you love me.
And then clap or snare. Again, you want something quiet. You can use like the Lex Luger clap, which is really popular. I use it all the time. There's a billion different variations. You got the Zay snare, the no lie snare, the Uzi snare, I suppose as it's called. But you can pretty much use any snare or clap in trap. Something short and snappy.
Don't say you love me. Don't say you love me. Don't say.
So regular snare pattern.
Don't say you love me. Don't say you love me.
Right? And also they have these accent snares that are really common in trap as well, that sound really good at high BPMs especially. And where those go is in the 1st and 4th beat at the end of the bar. So it goes halfway in between like this. As you can see, this is the start of the 2nd bar and we've got 2 hits right here and it sounds like this.
Don't say you love me. Don't say you.
And you can do little variations on that, like for instance, you can just do the first one. You can just do the 2nd one, or you can do doubles towards the end of the bar for a turnover type sound like this. So let's see what that sounds like.
Don't say you love me. Don't say you love me.
I also forgot to mention, you can also use rims in trap as well. Often rims sound really good when you accent with accents. And also open hats. That crash will actually sound cool too. Let's use that. We don't want these to be too loud. Kind of like the accent snares, you want to tuck them behind 808, snare, and hi-hat. And you can pretty much put these wherever you like. The ones that are brighter and have less low frequencies sound good if you layer them with 808. And that's pretty much trap. And now let's go into the next section and we'll do some drill. So again, sound selection is really important. There are a bunch of drum kits online that work really well. But there's this producer called Ghosty. His sound design is really quite unique and aggressive, and I just freaking love it. So I'm going to be using his kits for this example, but you could use pretty much any kit you find online. As long as it's quite recent, you'll probably find the modern sounds in pretty much any kit. So yeah, let's go. We got the counter snares, which is pretty much like a hi-hat. You can also use trap hi-hats and drill beats. It really just depends on the type of beat and what you want to use. There's no real rules to this. I like this one. And in drill and also Afro beats, there's a rhythm that's called tresillo, and it's basically, if you just look at the channel right here, it's the first note, leave two, put a note, leave two, put a note, and then you restart over on the next beat, and it just repeats. Skip two, and then you can duplicate that for the 8 bars. In drill, most commonly you have snares, like the chop snare, or rim shots sound really good. So let's just pick one that we like. Let's use rim. So for drill, you have the first snare or rim hitting on where the snare usually goes, but for the second bar, instead of putting it here, we're going to put it one beat to the right. So you have that kind of bounce, and that is the signature drill bounce. Now for drill 808s, you want long sustained basses so you can slide them. Now I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know the difference between 808s, 909s, and 110s, or if even that is what you call them, but I pretty much all use them the same way. Also, using this envelope, turning all of them down except hold on max, just means that you can have full control over the notes, and it cuts off as soon as the MIDI note stops. So that's really important. The typical drill bounce I find is the first 2 beats, and then it cuts off when the first snare, which is right here. And then there's a lot of space in drill 808s I find. I do this pattern a lot. The first 2 beats and then the last beat in a 2-bar loop. And you can repeat this. But it's quite boring, and it really wouldn't be drill without some slides. So grab a slide note, make it quite short, like really short, and then using the octave and the 5th of the chord that is playing are really great ones to slide to. And also starting high and sliding down slowly sounds dope. Something I like doing a lot, which I don't know if other producers do, but it's just having regular notes up really high. Just kind of like a beep. Like quite a few of them like that, highlighting them all and then right clicking and dragging down on the velocity like this. We want to make sure we're in the right chord when we're doing this. And then also I do this a lot in trap too, but if you have the root note as a normal note and the octave above a slide, you have them the same length as each other, and you highlight this bottom note and just bring the velocity to 0. It's going to sound like a reverse 808. Now we're going to go with kicks. They're very important for each genre. Trap is kind of phasing out of the kick phase, but I still like to have real heavy punchy kicks in trap. But drill especially is really known for insanely hard hitting kicks, and this kit has amazing ones. So you come into the pre-computed effects and you just boost that a little bit, just a little bit. And then it can just follow the 808. And it wouldn't be a drill beat without gunshots.
Don't say you love me. Don't say you love me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
And now we're going to duplicate this over one more time, and we are going to do Afro. Now I think the BPM range is around 100 to 120 BPM if I had to guess. And again, like I mentioned before, for drill, the kick and snare follow the Tresillo, I hope that's how you say it, pattern. A lot of Afro, especially the stuff that's trending like right now, has really big kicks like in drill. But I think for this beat we're going to need something a little bit less crazy, and I want to try something a little bit lighter. So let's see if we can find a kick that we like. I like this one. And we also need, I'm going to use a rim. You can use a rim or a snare. And you're going to want to follow the Tresillo effect, the Tresillo rhythm. The first one is the kick. You drop, you leave 2, put a rim down, you leave 2, put another rim down, and that just repeats. So it's basically, the kick is basically a 4 on the floor or a 2 on the floor. It's like every second. And then the snare is kind of like the accent snare from the trap pattern, but it's like, it's playing at a smaller interval and more often throughout the pattern. I think actually it does need to be 4 on the floor.
Don't say you love me.
And this is where my style might differ a little bit. I use more trap sounds in a lot of my Afro beats. So I would actually use, I don't know, maybe we'll try this, we'll try the Zay, and if it doesn't work, we'll go back to the spins for the 808. This is the pattern we've come up with. It is essentially a trap pattern, except remember we slowed the BPM down. So now instead of every bar and a half, we're doing every 3/4, every beat and a half, we're doing 3/4 of a beat. It's essentially the same bounce, it's just at a slower BPM.
Don't say you love me.
Let's try the spins.
Don't say you love me.
Now you can use like a shaker. Let's actually do that. A shaker sounds pretty good. I like to use shorter ones and have them much faster. And you want every second note's velocity to be lower, so it kind of has this pumping effect. And then you can also use like an open hat. And we can do that same accent snare pattern, but instead of being in between the bar, we can do it towards the end. And that is how I do Afro.
Don't say you love me. Don't say you love me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, that is 3 genres in one video. If you like the video, subscribe if you want to see me. Bye bye.